Good afternoon, fans of rugby, University men's rugby. Welcome to the finals for the Ontario men's rugby title, University men's rugby title. We're here broadcasting live from Nixon Field on the historic campus of Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. My name is Dave Lukes, and with me is Rick Powers, veteran player, bon vivant, and longtime administrator in Canadian rugby. Rick, what's the deal today? Queen's has had the advantage in head-to-head play so far with Guelph, but what should we look for?
Well, I think, first of all, perfect conditions for a fall day in Kingston. Sunny. It's about 12, 13 degrees. Both teams just about to start the game. Queens really has to come out, I think, and make a statement early on. Guelph is, this will be the toughest game Queens has had all year, except for their inter-squad games, and pretty much for Guelph as well. These two teams played their first exhibition game at the beginning of the season. Queens edging out a win, but not by a lot. It was a very, very good contest. So watch for Queens to try to set up their play up front early on and put some pressure on the Guelph forwards.
Queens starts it off. A long dropout, taken over the 22 of Guelph. Good clear up by the Guelph forwards. Queens is looking to contest these breakdowns pretty quickly and aggressively in the first bit of the game. But Guelph does well to get ball. The forwards look to be well versed. Clearing kick down the line, be line out, Queens put in.
So you can see that right from the very beginning, both teams going after each other. As I said, this will be the most competitive game either of these teams will play this year in anticipation of the finals that Queens will be hosting from November 24th to November 28th right here at Nixon Field. The national finals.
We have a change in the call. The lineout is being brought back to the roughly the 10-15 meter line of Guelph. One assumes that the ball was taken back behind the 22 by Guelph, then cleared for touch, and in that case the ball is brought back. Throwing the ball in for Queens number 2, the hooker Neil Trainer. The referee immediately deems it to be not straight, and that will be a free kick, bent arm penalty as they call it, but a free kick to Guelph. He'll clear their lines, kicking for touch again. That's an excellent kick down the field, well cleared.
The officials for today's game are Peter Pender, and the line judges will be Tilly Chaudry and Ben Stinson. So a very experienced crew here today for this Ontario Men's University Championship game.
It's the playoffs, so anything can happen. Guelph, I'm sure, looks at it as nothing to lose in this game, so they'll lay it out on the line.
Both Guelph and Queens have both qualified for the national championships, as we mentioned, that will be played here at Queens, November 24th to the 28th, as well as RMC, who Queens played last week.
That's correct, and I guess because of Queens' position as host, that's why RMC gets the invitation, but good for them.
Yeah, well deserved. They played a good game.
Good win out the line out from Queens. Hard tackling by Guelph in the centers. Number 12, Jacob Ince, made an excellent tackle there. Adam Doyle is the scrum half for Queens. He'll be directing things. He'll want good, clean ball from the forwards. Puts it down the field. Not too far. Queens is on him right away. But well taken by Guelph. They've cleaned that ball up nicely. Number 2, David Skolin for Guelph is driving on. Ball comes out into the Guelph backs. And no free ground is being given on either side here. Number 11, Alex Williamson, going for a great run by Guelph. Well put back. So far, Guelph is looking very well drilled.
Yeah, they really are. This is a good team, well coached.
Now, a bit of a mistake, and unfortunately, Queens can't capitalize. And he is giving the scrum to Guelph.
Interesting call.
Yeah, I thought that Guelph had knocked it on first, but
That's what I thought
that
too.
would be my mistake, I guess. Because the referee is the sole arbitrator of the law.
Big week for Queens this past week with the announcement of the OUA All-Stars. 5 Queens players: Will Matthews, Sam Ibbotson, Eric Godden, Stefan Zuliani, and Liam Casey all selected All-Stars. And Liam Casey was selected as the most valuable player in the rugby league this year in the OUA.
Well-earned accolade for Liam Casey. His play has been outstanding.
He really has. He and Matt King have been dominating in the forwards all season.
So this is our first scrum. We'll see see how the heavyweights bear out here. Queens has been very strong in the scrum in all the games that we've covered so far this year. They've put the opposition under tremendous disadvantage.
But we should mention Queens has dominated in just about every phase of the
But
game.
a great push by the Guelph forwards. Colin Lynch, the Guelph scrum half, looks very effective there.
Ideal conditions today.
Guelph puts the ball out. Back movement going on. A tremendous tackle on number 13 of Guelph by the winger. Number 11, Sam Ibbotson. That was a tremendous hit.
Guelph really having trouble getting past the gain line. Very good defense by Queens.
Steal by Queens there. Wonderfully taken. That's the number 8, Will Matthews, the captain for today's team, putting the ball out. Here goes Doyle. Brilliant break. Good cover, good support by the forwards. Again, we don't, Coach Butcher for Queens will want to see those bobbles cleaned up completely.
We saw that last week a bit, but the conditions were wet last week. Today, they couldn't be more ideal for both teams.
You have a knock on by Queens. It'll be Guelph put in.
So Guelph finished their season 5-0. Queens was also 5-0, but they only played 4 games, I guess. McMaster wasn't able to field a team after a very tough contest against RMC. So as I said earlier, this will be the biggest competition either team has had all season.
In the Guelph scrum half, Colin Lynch putting the ball in. Or if he's not going to be happy with the movement early before the ball is put in.
You know, we talked about the strength of the Queens forwards. Guelph is really pushing them around early on in this game, aren't they?
They certainly haven't stepped back at all.
University rugby has really taken a significant jump in the quality that we've seen over the last few years. These are basically full-time athletes and student athletes. They train all year. COVID has certainly punched a bit of a hole in the regular season, only 4 games or 5 games in the season. Normally they'd play 7 or 8.
Well, it's interesting to note that many of these players on both teams have all got they've got representative experience under their belts at the junior levels, and I'm sure that a lot of them are on the radar screen for the men's senior team for Canada.
Yeah, they would be, and that's part of it.
Well, there's a brilliant break by number 11, Alex Williamson. Looked like a knock on there.
Knock on, that was a try. Queens will have to count themselves lucky on that one. That was a wonderful break, and just unfortunate the Guelph player couldn't hold on to the ball.
The Guelph number 10, Area Kashafi, has great eyesight to spot Williamson there on the wing, and as an open man, it was a beautifully lofted pass. Queens put in through number 9, Adam Doyle. Front row for Queens, Stefan Zuliani at number 1, Neil Traynor is the hooker at number 2, and Rory McPhail number 3.
Queens showing certainly some respect to the Guelph team. They're lined up fairly flat for a team that's throwing in the ball or putting in the ball.
That's a better solid scrum from Queens there. That was a good run by Eric Godden. A clearing kick by at number 15, Thomas Kirkwood. It'll be a Guelph lineout just beyond the Queen's 22.
It'll be interesting to see this week who's doing the kicking, whether Tom Kirkwood will be back or
Santiago Guadarrama Maya.
exactly.
I've been practicing all week. We'll put out down the back of the Guelph line. Good cover by the Queen's backs. Challenging for that breakdown ball. Number 11, Williamson, comes in to clean up. Here's the big man, Aiden Bichon, driving that ball forward. Penalty advantage to Guelph. Oh, there's a tremendous hit. That was number 6 for Queens, Dan Svoboda. Put the shoulder into the Guelph player, but the advantage was being played. Number 9 for Guelph, Colin Lynch, will get directions from the captain.
Mr. Svoboda's parents are here at the game today.
Oh dear. That ploy did not go very well.
No.
I believe that kick was to go to the winger at pace, Colin Smeebert, but that didn't work very well.
We mentioned Dan Svoboda. His father played for Canada. Carl, a number of caps. He's in the 20s.
That's right.
And Kendra is his lovely wife, both here to cheer on their son. And Gord Nixon.
Gord Nixon of Nixon Field.
Was here this afternoon.
Hopefully at some point the camera will get a shot of the brand new scoreboard that has been set up. Sponsored by, again, Mr. Nixon, Mr. Tim Price, Gord Nixon, and in fact by Mr. Richard Powers and Graham White. Queens put in on their 22. Again, Guelph putting Queens under a lot of pressure. Good hold by Queens. Queens starting to mix things up a bit. There's Mr. Casey starting to drive on. I'm sure he'll be involved more and more in the game because he is a steamroller. He draws in 2 or 3 tacklers.
Does he ever? He and we mentioned Noah King, just outstanding players. Both teams not giving up much space at all.
Certainly Guelph has had the advantage of the possession so far. The Queens has not had very much ball to deal with.
And except for an ill-timed knock-on, Guelph would be on the board.
Again, that's Casey hammering into the Guelph player. A great pickup.
Here we go.
And this is number 8. Will Matthews, the captain, scoring under the post with an intercepted try. Beautiful play.
Beautiful play. Queens on the board, 5-0.
It's got to hurt Guelph. They've been playing a very hard game, making some yards, getting a feel for the ball, and then there's our scoreboard.
There's our new
Lovely.
scoreboard. It completes the field.
They spelled half wrong.
That's the horn that comes out, you clown. Jeez. You'd think he had a degree or something.
98.6.
You see number 26. Number 26 is actually Noah King. We've been trying to figure out why they didn't have a number 5. Apparently the jersey got taken a few years ago and they never replaced it. So.
But they don't tell us that.
No, they wouldn't tell us that.
That's a need-to-know information. This looks like Guadarrama Maya to do the conversion. And he drills it through for 2 points. So 7-0 to Queens.
You know, just a little bit about the new scoreboard. Very, very technical, but everything off of an app on this Scorer's iPhone. Everything's done electronically.
Amazing.
Yeah, no wires, and I think it's just all. I guess that's Wi-Fi. I guess that's what the kids call it today.
Well, and it sounds like things that can break very easily.
You know, when I started practicing law, we had telex. In fact, facsimile was the new technology.
Course, So you were practicing. You never really got good at it?
No, never
there
really
you go.
understood what they were talking about.
Queens returning the ball. I believe that was Svoboda taking that kick. Queens building their phases here. Doyle punches the ball down the field. Oh, number 11 Williamson, or excuse me, number 15 Dalton Campbell having a little trouble with that.
This guy's a good runner. You notice he's the only player on the field with long pants on or tights, which are allowed actually.
They are
a new rule.
Officially allowed.
That's right. I was way ahead of the game when I wore them.
Well, you get cold when you're standing there on the sidelines.
That's going to be a long afternoon.
It may. Queens driving the ball again. Counter ruck by Guelph. Number 6, Connor McKinney. Unfortunately, looks like he came in on the side, which the referee doesn't like. He wants to see them coming in perpendicular to where the ruck is located. Coming in from the side is a penalty.
You know, it's interesting to see the All-Stars because we've been talking about this number one, Stefan Zuliani, all season. He is, I think, one of the most underrated players on the Queens team. He is in every single play.
Well, what's interesting is as Queens goes through their season, and we watch more of them, there haven't been that many games for us to see, but boy, these fellas start showing their unique talents and contributions to the team. It's pretty impressive. Queens line out. Throwing in the ball, Neil Traynor, number 2. Number 4, of course, Liam Casey. Queens recovers the ball. A good hit by the Guelph player, number 2. That would be David Skolin. But Queens retrieved the ball, or maintained the ball. Penalty given to Guelph, not releasing the ball, holding it on the ground. So you're given a 2 count. Once your knee hits the ground, you have to release the ball as the tackled player. The referees are very alert on that play.
And the referee also just gave Queens a warning. That was unsportsmanlike conduct.
Marched off a further 10.
Yeah.
So Guelph has opted to drive the ball down, have a line out at about the 7-meter line. We'll look to see them try to maul this ball in. There it goes. Number 8, Cam Hurst taking that ball. Good drive. Queens there to defend. The hard yards, as they say. The key here is who gets lowest. That was number 7 for Guelph, Max Goodwin driving in. Boy, they're hitting in there. That's hard stuff. String the ball wide. Number 11, Alex Williamson goes to dot the ball down.
Yeah, he does.
Guelph scores 5.
Nice play by Guelph.
7-5 for Guelph.
Yeah. Guelph, that was about 7 or 8 phases.
It looks like number 15, Tom Kirkwood, took a knock there. Well, that's going to bolster Guelph's spirits. That was a well-driven play all the way down the field.
Yeah. No, all credit to Guelph. We knew this was going to be a good contest, and certainly playing as we suspected. You see the beautiful foliage around the field. This is a beautiful location for a game.
Well, that's going to
Nixon
bolster.
Field, as I mentioned, you can see just on the left there behind the trees, a new tent they've put in, hospitality tent.
Very nice.
Getting ready for the women's Canadian finals from November 10th to the 14th here.
Yep, so starting next week, and at 7:30 tonight on OUA.TV will be the Ontario women's final with, curiously enough, Queens versus Guelph. That's a lovely kick. I believe that was Dalton Campbell, number 15.
And
Nope.
no, number 9.
Change that. It was Colin Lynch making that conversion. That was a tremendous kick.
And we have a tie score, 7-7, with about 20 minutes left in the first half. Well executed plays by Guelph, as you mentioned, from one end of the field to the other. That penalty against Queens didn't help.
It did not. No, and that's the sort of thing that will give Coach Butcher gray hair.
You know, Butch, as we like to call him, you can always tell him on the field, he's still the guy in the shorts.
He's still in the shorts.
In Scotland,
He hasn't figured out the seasons yet here.
He's Scottish.
Yeah.
He thinks
Say no more.
This is balmy weather over there.
Yeah. It looks like Kirkwood is being replaced. That's unfortunate for him.
I wonder what they're worried about. Maybe he had a good knock on the head.
I believe he did get a bit of a knock on the head. They don't take any chances with that. Oh, that's going to. Queens restarts with a long drop. Well taken by Guelph. Number 10, Area Kashovi, clearing the ball. That was Noah King, I believe, driving that ball. Again from the side, referee penalizes Guelph.
Game sort of seemed to settled in a bit here. More of a defensive battle. Queens will look to get some good field position here.
That ball. There's a good kick downfield. Again from the
Very
side,
good
just outside the Guelph 22. Queens will want to build on something here. They want to reply from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. I believe driving that ball. May end up being a game of attrition. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. I believe driving that ball. Ball hung quite a lot in the air. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. It's a great tackle by Guelph on number 13.
Great defense by
Chris
Guelph.
Wells. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. I believe driving that ball. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. Liam Casey driving on. I believe driving that ball.
Oh, nice
great break. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph.
Queens on the attack here.
I believe driving that ball. Boy, these guys, they have from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. Very impressive. I believe driving that ball.
Pressing just past the 22-meter line.
Referee penalizes Guelph. I believe driving that ball. They have numbers. Again from the side. Referee penalizes to get it out. I believe driving that ball. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. He is very difficult to bring down.
And that is why he was the OUA's most valuable player this year.
Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. We've got a Guelph player driving that duress there. But Queens pressing. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph.
Zuliani. Boy, oh boy.
I believe driving that ball. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. Too bad for Queens, but they get penalized. I believe driving that ball.
Take a break here as well. Injured
Again
Guelph
from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph.
Yeah, he's calling a stop to the time.
I believe driving that ball. You get a close up. You see this. The
nobody's
pace of the game is showing on all both teams. I believe driving that ball. Bless you. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. I believe driving that ball. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph. Bit of interest out of the as we look through the team rosters, the width and breadth of the from the side. Hometowns of the Queens players. Quite a few players from Vancouver. I believe driving that ball right across the prairies. The one that jumps out at me is Liam Casey. Hails from Kuala Lumpur. You don't see that every day. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph.
Comparing it to the Guelph players, every single one of their players
driving
is from
that
Ontario.
ball. I was going to say that, yeah.
Again
from the side. Now, unfortunately, we don't have their fields of study, but obviously Guelph is a strong agricultural school. Again from the side. Referee penalizes Guelph.
We do have, yeah. one of the centers, Dalton Campbell, actually
Believe
with
driving that ball.
Canada under 19 honors. He is from Calgary.
Well, in
Again,
fact,
from
we
the
have
side,
a couple of
referee
would-be
penalizes Guelph.
fellows, and in fact, one of them, young
Believe
Mr.
driving that
Lovato,
ball.
father and Sven Lovato, who I played with on the Ajax Wanderers. Oh. I've just been handed the information about what program the men's Guelph team are in, and in fact, they cover the whole gamut of everything.
Yeah, they do. You know, you have to give it credit to these student athletes. You know, it's the university program. One thing I always appreciate about the rugby season, it's over fairly early, at least a few weeks before Christmas
The
exams.
first term set your back a ways, I must say.
Yeah. But you still, by usually the championship game, as we're seeing here, is the first week in November. So you had time to get ready for final exams in the first term, but still, didn't get a whole lot of work done those first few weeks.
That's exactly. As you can see, please make a note to mark in your calendars to be here for the Men's University Championship. Tickets, you can get a tournament pass for all the games that are going to be played here at Nixon Field. All the information is, as you see, you can be found at gogalesgo.com/tickets. And then for the women as well, again, as Rick mentioned, their tournament is coming up next week, starting next week. Excellent rugby. Again, Queen's involved. And I assume Guelph will be involved as well.
Yeah, they will be. You know, it's interesting. The women's game is a youth sport, is recognized a national sport. The men's actually is not. They have not.
Curiously enough.
Yeah, curiously enough. But it all comes down to the number of men's sports versus women's sports. And
well, that's too bad for number 6, Connor McKinney. Looks as though he's got an injured left arm.
Or shoulder.
Gets bumps from the, kudos from the Queen's players as he leaves the field. Again, a lot of these fellows know each other from representative teams and perhaps even home club teams. Penalty for Guelph, drove the ball down. It'll be Guelph line out.
17 minutes left in the first half. Game is tied 7-7. Pretty much what we expected, Dave. Very close game.
It is. The referee going to blow that up for not straight, I would assume. Not straight. So that will, it gives Queens an option. They can throw the ball in, have another line out themselves, but more often than not, they will pick a scrum as they have. So the ball gets scrummaged where on the 15-meter line where the original line out took place.
Neither team actually controlling the game at this stage, both playing excellent defense.
Yeah, I would say as the score indicates, a 50-50 game.
Both teams have been scoring at will basically against other clubs in their division.
Boy, that's a titanic struggle in there, both teams. The Queen's backs moving with some good ball movement. Oh,
Another penalty.
Tough luck.
You know, penalties are really hurting. They hurt Queens last week against RMC.
Really did.
They're hurting them again this week. And Guelph taking full advantage of it.
Tough.
Another penalty.
Good
Kicks
the Queen's
for
backs
touch.
moving with some good ball movement.
There's another excellent kick.
Excellent kick. That's 60 meters down the field. Oh. So it'll be
penalty.
Guelph line out, 30 meters out from the Queen's goal line.
Guelph brought three, as you mentioned, they're playing in both the men's and the women's finals today. They brought 3 busloads of fans down.
That's
tremendous support. It really
great.
is.
So Guelph line out. Go to the front to number 7, Max Goodwin. Well taken. Ball's out down the line. There's number 5, Evan Raymond, driving in for Guelph. Oh, there's a great break. And number 11, Alex Williamson, goes in for a second try.
Great ball handling by the Guelph. And they take a lead here.
They take a lead. 12-7.
Kick to come, but great backline play.
You can just see their confidence rising and rising. A very impressive, hard-nosed play by the Guelph, all 15 of the Guelph players. Great test for Queens.
It really is. You know, that's I think for both teams, the worry that they each dominated in their own sectors all season. This is really the toughest game, and they're going to need these games before the Nationals, because once you get UBC and UVic here, you know, they are very strong programs.
It doesn't get easier as they go on from this game. That's for sure.
See the fans along the end zone there. Just a perfect day for rugby in Kingston, Ontario.
Even the temperature's cooperating. It's really quite balmy out. Number 9, Colin Lynch for Guelph to attempt the conversion. Players are allowed to charge as he approaches the kick. That ball slides to the right. That could be important.
That was that's a disappointing result there. He should have made that kick.
He's got a good leg.
He does.
Very surprising, frankly. He's had another one from there already that he got quite cleanly, straight through. But Queens to restart. See if they can reply.
12-7 for the Guelph Griffins.
Referee is going to call. I believe that was Noah King hitting the man in the air, which you're not allowed to do.
Those are scary penalties, because that can come with a yellow card as well.
Absolutely.
Another excellent kick.
Clearing for touch down to the roughly the Queens 40-meter line.
Must be frustrating for the Queens players. They make some ground and they give it back with a penalty.
Clearing for touch down to the
3 times in a row.
Been a bit of a
another excellent kick.
Common theme for Queens, unfortunately, this year.
Another excellent kick.
Clearing for touch down to the good quick line. Roughly the Queens. Referees have got a playing advantage. Player on the ground interfered with the scrum half. Nope.
Unfortunately, the penalty was already, referee was playing advantage there, but.
And that certainly wasn't an advantage to Guelph. So this will be a penalty from probably 45 meters out.
Not a lot of wind today. I would think he'd go for it.
One would have thought,
well, maybe not.
He is going to put it down in the corner, try and drive in from a line out.
Good try by the Queens player to keep it in, but unsuccessfully. So Guelph again knocking on the door. Penalties are just starting to pile up against the Queens team. Coach Butcher is going to have something to say to the boys at halftime.
That's a great covering tackle by number 7, Alex Pipchuk there for Queens. Drew a penalty. Queens out of trouble.
Okay, let's see what they can do here.
Alex Pipchuk there for Queens. Drew a penalty. Queens out of trouble. Okay, Queens line out Neil Traynor to put the ball in.
Zulian to give him the call.
Bad throw, cleaned up by Guelph. There's number 15, Dalton Campbell. Pretty well covered by the Queens defense. A little sloppy play going on here. Queens very aggressive in their defense, forcing an errant pass that bumped off Cooper Grau, the Guelph second row. Leads to a Queens scrum.
Just under 10 minutes left in the first half. Guelph ahead 12-7. Queens with the ball. They'll try to do something here. Counter Guelph's most recent score. You'd have to say, Dave, it's again, no team really dominating at this stage. It's a pretty even contest.
No, and I think one of the things Queens might want to look at is becoming a little more unpredictable. You know, they've been regularly just trying to run the ball down the line, but with no nothing unexpected. There we go. There's the opposite wing, number 11 Ibbotson coming in there.
Again, though, excellent defense by Guelph. Oh.
And they've drawn a penalty. Again, not having enough men there for Queens to support the tackled player. Guelph gets the penalty.
You know, we should have been keeping count of these, but we're well over a dozen penalties against Queens.
Absolutely. And quite a few of the same variety. It's again frustrating for the coaching staff, certainly frustrating for the players. We'll see if Guelph has anything in the bag of tricks for a line out that's only about 10 meters out away from the goal line. Number 12, Jacob Inch for Guelph running hard. Forward pass, unfortunately for Guelph. Queens again let off the hook. Be a scrum right in front of their posts. But Queens or Guelph up 12-7 over Queens.
Yeah, certainly. We've said this a number of times, but we always knew this was going to be a tough game. Good crowd here at Nixon Field.
Number 8 break. Will Matthews driving ahead. That's Noah King.
Given Queen's penchant for penalties, I think they'd want to get it out of here as soon as possible.
I would think. There's going to be a clearance kick coming soon. That didn't get cleared very far.
No. Big crowd here this afternoon.
There's a new angle. So Guelph line out. Again, pressing.
Guelph knocking on the door here once again.
Number 4, Cooper Crow playing scrum half there. Number 15, Dalton Campbell, he's had a very good half. Penalty.
Once again now, will Guelph take the shot at goal here, or? Dalton Campbell.
No, they're going to go for the line out.
They've been dominating in the lineouts. In fact, they've even taken one off Queens. So 5 meter. This will be a test for Queens. Just over 5 minutes left. They trail 12-7. Can they keep Guelph off the board again?
There's a great play around the front by the number 8, Cam Hurst. Well defended by Queens. We do have a Queens player on the field, down on the ground. Try given to Guelph. Tremendous. 17-7.
They deserve that one.
Guelph. Number 5, Evan Raymond got that try for Guelph. Tremendous. 17.
Well played by the Guelph Griffins.
Tremendous. And there by Cooper Grau, his second row partner.
17-7.
Guelph. Tremendous. 17-7.
They deserve that one. Well, this is something Queens hasn't experienced all season.
Tremendous.
Being behind.
No, 17-7. Right. See how they react to adversity, that's for sure. Guelph. Tremendous. 17-7.
Number 9, Colin Lynch, was unsuccessful in the last kick. Very similar spot.
Tremendous. 17-7.
They deserve that one.
Guelph. Tremendous.
Guelph and Queens have really been they deserve that one. Cream of the crop over the last several years in OUA rugby.
Tremendous.
And now we're seeing it play out in the women's
17-7.
Well.
Yeah, indeed.
They deserve that one.
Guelph. Tremendous. 17-7. Trying for that conversion, but unfortunately slipped to the left. So score stands at 17-12. Tremendous.
Now, those are very important. There's 4 points that they've missed, which I really think deserve that one.
Those are vital points.
Yeah. One went to the right, one went to the left. You'd have to think he'd get deserve that one. That helps. That certainly helps Queens. 17-7. Guelph up by 10. Just a few minutes left in the first half. They deserve that one.
Referee just checking to see who was brought on for the injured player. Unfortunately, it looked like it was Adam Doyle was the player who was injured on the play. Guelph. Tremendous. 17-7. Trying for that.
They deserve that one.
Guelph. Back to live action. Queens to restart. Long drop. The line out just over center for Queens. Queens throw. Can they do something before the end of the half? That's the key question.
They trail by 10. Guelph certainly putting up both strong defense and excellent offensive moves. They've gone the length of the field twice.
That was Noah King taking that ball in the line out. Queens backs building a play. Too bad. Ball went down to the ground. The winger, Sam Ibbotson, cleaned it up. That's a great drive by Will Matthews, the captain, number 10, or excuse me, number 8. There's Noah King out in the back line. Oh, penalty again against Queens. Too many rolls after the tackle.
Boy, well, no real question why Queens is down at the half. Penalty, penalty, penalty.
So for Queens, the scrum half, Adam Doyle has been replaced by number 21 Connor Gittins in the scrum half position.
I think they've got the score wrong here on the chart. I think it's 17-7.
I thought.
He missed that last kick, so less than a minute to go in the first half. We'll see which is the correct score, but we have it at 17-7.
There's a driving maul from the line out. Number 12, Jacob Inch getting used, getting a lot of ball handling in there. Number 3, Gershon McKendy had put the ball out. Well defended by Queens.
Referee looking at his watch. There can't be much time left.
Don't think we want to see Mr. Casey limping.
No. Checking with the touch judge.
Mr. Stinson, I believe.
Queens should just try to get a hold of this ball and kick it out. Half is over, which can end on a penalty.
He has called a penalty on Queens.
They deserve that one.
Guelph, tremendous.
Kicks the ball into
Colin
the emergency
17-7,
room of the
trying
Kingston
for that
General Hospital. They deserve that one.
Guelph has opted for a line out again.
Guelph,
Just trying to
tremendous.
drive this over in a maul.
17-7,
trying for that last
They deserve that
gasp
one.
score at the end of the half.
Guelph,
Tremendous.
Colin
17-7, trying for that used effectively in the
deserve
middle
that
of the
one.
line. A great drive by Guelph.
Guelph.
And a try scored.
Tremendous.
Just on the halftime.
Colin
17-7, trying for that. Great work by the
They
forwards.
deserve that one. You know, you knew exactly what they were going to do, and they did it once
Yes.
again. They'll be
Tremendous.
pumped going into the half.
Colin
17-7, trying for that.
They deserve that one.
There'll be some Queen's soul searching at halftime. Got to find some
Tremendous.
answers here.
Colin
17-7, trying for that.
They deserve that one.
Guelph,
Tremendous.
Liam Casey does
Colin
love the
17-7,
momentum there.
trying for that.
They deserve that one.
Again, the hits are hard out there.
Guelph.
They're
tremendous.
These fellas are accelerating
Colin
on the
17-7,
contact, trying for that.
They deserve that one.
That hurts.
Guelph,
Tremendous.
Well, we had it 17-7.
17-7, trying for that.
22. They deserve
See
that
what
one. Score comes up.
Guelph,
Tremendous.
Colin
Certainly an
17-7,
awkward
trying
position
for
with
that.
Queens. They've not been
They
behind
deserve
that
all
one.
season.
Yes.
Can they come back?
Guelph,
Tremendous. A great test for the
17-7,
national trying
finals.
for that.
They deserve that one.
Guelph,
Tremendous.
Colin
17-7, trying for that.
They deserve
Convert
that one.
attempt.
Guelph,
And
Tremendous.
slides across the face of the
Colin
17-7, trying for that.
They deserve
So
that
that's
one.
6 points.
That they haven't put up.
Guelph,
I think.
Tremendous.
Again, we'll see what the,
Worcester
Colin
17-7, trying for that.
they deserve
22-7
that one. Is the correct score.
Guelph,
Halftime has been
Tremendous.
called. Teams will
17-7,
regroup, trying for that.
rekindle.
They deserve that
Queens
one.
has to find some answers.
Guelph,
In international games earlier today, some interesting score lines. Canada, unfortunately, going down to Portugal, 20-17. New Zealand, winners over Italy, 47-9. England, 69. Tonga, 3. That's a bit of a surprise. And the big game, Wales drops another one. So South Africa, 23. Wales, 18 in Cardiff. So
I would say that is perhaps a surprising scoreline for Wales.
yeah, and Tonga, Tonga's on their way to the World Cup once again. One of the top 15 ranked teams to go down 69-3 to
Well,
England.
they've been getting beat up a fair bit, actually, on this tour. The other important score, of course, is that the Canadian women beat the United States 22-12. Actually,
to capture that Four
27.
Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it very well played game. The women, their ball movement and effort to keep the ball alive is very, very impressive.
One of the most impressive players on that Canadian team was Queen's own Sophie DeGoody. So playing in Colorado yesterday, she flew back
Last
this
night.
morning. Last night,
Yeah.
So she flew back this morning and will be dressing and playing for the Queen's Golden Gales when they face off against Guelph later this evening at 7:30 at Nixon Field for the Women's Ontario Championship.
We would have done a lot of more of that in our time, except the stagecoaches, the schedule was so iffy.
Well, speak for yourself. So as we mentioned, just a beautiful fall day. Dave, you remember these were days that you dreamed about.
Absolutely, and obviously the weather, as well as all the parental support and everything else, but the students come out in great droves to support the Queen's team.
Well over 1,000 people here today. You can't see the cameras are on the same side, so you can only see the
Yeah,
players' side. But along the south,
that's a fine view of Kingston General Hospital right there. Interestingly, Queen's, following the lead of a number of other schools in Ontario, decided to institute a admittance fee to the field for the men's and women's playoff games, but a generous anonymous benefactor of the rugby alumni community decided to cover that cost for both playoff teams, both games last week and this week, covering the cost of admittance for the 4 games. So whoever that kind benefactor was, thank you very much on behalf of all Queens And all spectators, because I imagine that covered them as well.
That's what I heard. It's again, Queen's under some bits of financial pressures these days, as all universities are, but particularly athletics.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's as you know, I was the assistant athletic director at Queen's for a few years, and at the time we had 42 intercollegiate teams.
Extraordinary.
Playing in playing in varsity leagues. So I think they're down to less than 15 at the varsity level now. A number of club teams, obviously, but it just seems to get winning down every year a little bit more.
I'm always amazed wandering around the at Kingston and the Queen's campus, the number of teams that have a lot of players on each team, and so they have players, they have subs, they have support staff, but the number of people involved in the sports teams, the intercollegiate sports teams, is amazing.
Queens runs 4 rugby teams, 2 the first and seconds at the varsity level, and then the third and fourth at the club level. And last week, the third and fourth beat York. They beat York University's first team for the, I forget the name of the cup that they
Gentleman's Scholar Cup.
Gentleman's Scholar Cup.
So I think it was a wonderful title. But no, it was, and I watched that game, and it, unfortunately for them, it was in pouring rain, whereas the game later on that day was in much more pleasant conditions. But Queens played just an excellent game, as did York. But boy, the Queens' grit showed through in that instance.
So I guess the big question, Dave, is can Queens come back from this? I believe it was 22 to 7.
Well, as you mentioned, this is the first time they've been under this pressure all year, down at least 2 or 3 tries. This requires a lot of gut check time. Frankly, I think Coach Butcher appreciates this to see what the fellows are made of. It'll give them a lot of working points for training over the next couple of weeks.
Well, as we've mentioned throughout the first half, penalties being the Queen's nemesis at this point. Every time they seem to make some ground, they lose it all to a penalty.
Absolutely, and again, the penalties are sort of just mind lapse things that you really shouldn't be doing at this point in the season. But again, perhaps that does just show how few games these fellows have actually played at a high level that force onto them that understanding.
So 40 minutes to go to determine the Ontario men's rugby champion. Will it be Guelph Griffins or will it be the Queen's Gaels?
Gaels have a 15-point deficit to make up. There's the start by number 26, Noah King again. Pepchuk, number 7, driving in. Number 21, Connor Gittins, drives that ball down for Queens. Taken by number 9, Colin Lynch for Guelph. Number 19, Tyler Casey is on for Guelph, reserve. Advantage being played.
Another penalty to Queens.
Another penalty against Queens, my goodness. They're no advantage gained, so he brings the penalty back to the original infraction.
Well, if Coach Butcher spoke to them about the penalties, they didn't get off to a very good start for the second half.
It'll be Guelph line out.
So all credit to Guelph this afternoon. They've really controlled the game at times. It's really a defensive battle, except Guelph had these breakaways where they've capitalized on them, and as a result of Queen's penalties. 2 of the tries, pushover tries.
Guelph moving to a wrinkle in their lineout, going with a 4-man line. Number 8, Cam Hughes up high, takes possession. Number 1 driving through, Aiden Vachon, well tackled by the Queen's centers. Number 14 given a Colin Smybert, given not the greatest pass, but he dealt with it well. I believe the referee missed the knock on there, but Thunder's, he was trying to get out of the way, so he didn't see it. But Queen's given a penalty. Guelph not releasing. Casey's still on the hobble. Oh, and they didn't find touch. Well covered by the scrum half, Colin Lynch for Guelph. There's a big hit by number 23, Johnny Veriano. He's come on as a reserve. Casey with the ball.
Queens showing a bit of flair now.
Great tackle by 15 for Guelph, Dalton Campbell. Not sure what that penalty was for.
Queens has to find touch here. And they do.
It was Santiago Guadarrama Maya kicking for touch. And number 2, Neil Trainer, to put the ball in.
Zuliani giving him the call.
Luckily, Queens had knocked that ball back. There's a great run. Again, I believe that it's Noah King. Little chip, straight out of bounds. It'll be Guelph's kick, or Guelph's line-out throw.
Well, nice idea, but execution.
Execution.
Just over approximately 5 minutes in the second half. No score in the second half. Guelph still leads 22-7.
There was a great contest in the line-out, but the referee has penalized Queens. Noah King was very athletic in contesting that ball. The referee didn't appreciate it, though. Oh, and he, in fact, the referee did not appreciate to the extent of giving Noah King a yellow card. So he is in the sin bin for 10 minutes. That's not what Queens needed or wanted.
No, it's
key figure in the engine room in the scrum, Noah King. Key man in the line out and certainly in the running and tackling department.
I missed that, Dave. What did he get? Was it talking back or?
No, I don't believe so. It was something to do with his tackle and trying to strip the ball, and I'm not quite sure what the referee saw amiss. Guelph to put the ball in.
With the man advantage now.
Now that
Had
has
to be.
been called not straight, so Queens will get the option. Now down a man in the second row. Matthews, the captain, will give him the decision. And he's called for a scrum. Queens put in.
Okay, number 13 going off for Queens. Who came on?
Chris Wells is number 13. So they may be bringing on another forward replacement to make up for the second row, Noah King, who's in the sin bin. Referee didn't like the twist of the scrum. Be Queens put in again. Through number 21, Connor Giddens, the scrum half.
Just about 7 minutes gone in the second half of this men's OUA rugby championship game between the Guelph Griffins and the Queens Gales. Queens trailing 22-7.
Referee not happy with the Guelph team. Gave a indirect penalty. Queens took quickly. Well, certainly weren't back to 10 meters. Liam Casey again, still driving on. And the referee was playing advantage for the not 10 meters on the penalty, the quick take. So Guadarrama Maya will kick for touch. Get Queens into an offensive position. We'll see what their lineup can do here. Be a great time for them to score a try.
Well, they're going to have to get things going here. At least they've cut down on some of the penalties.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't really see it very closely, but there's you know, it seems to be a little dismay on a lot of the Queens players' faces. So, again, this unique position so far this year for them. There's a great run.
And that is Josh Engelbrecht. That's who came in for number 13.
There we go.
Josh, one of their top players. Oh.
It'll be Guelph put in. Alex Pip trying to clean things up there, but nothing going right for Queens. Looks like Liam Casey is leaving the field.
That'll be a big loss.
Sure is. He's been hobbling around for a while. Cole Hickey comes on to take his spot at number 19. Guelph put in. Tremendous drive by Queens. Referee called the front row for driving in as opposed to straight ahead. If you angle in your drive, it's a penalty. The penalty count is quite a bit lopsided at this point.
It's actually, in this half, I believe it's 4-2, but the first half was ridiculous. Still no score in the second half, 10 minutes in, 30 minutes remaining.
Guelph's line out.
All credit to Guelph up to this stage.
Good take on the line. Guelph backs, move the ball along. Number 14, Colin Smeebert. Great drive. He's having a great game. Colin Lynch, number 9 for Guelph again. Putting Queens under great pressure. That was a good drive back. Cooper Grau got driven back by the Queens defense.
Queens under a lot of pressure here. Coming up strong defensively, though.
Dalton Campbell, number 15.
He is dangerous.
Oh, the ball is held up. What a great defensive play by the Queens players. That looked like
another 5, didn't
Johnny Veriano, number 23, was under the ball. Did not allow the Guelph player to put it down. This results in Queens getting a goal line dropout. As I understand the new rule.
Yeah, I think let's hope they find touch with this. Scoreboard has the score incorrect. It is just 22-7.
We've got number 3 Gershom McKendy for Guelph in some pain. Might be a cramp. So this is the new rule this year, where if the ball is held up over the try line by the defending team, they win a dropout on the goal line. The referee has issuing
He's issuing
another yellow card
For what?
for number 23, Johnny Veriano, and we're not sure what that one is about.
He scored. They
a
just gave him a penalty
try. Boy, oh boy.
29-7.
Everyone, be interesting to find out what that was about. We have no indication here.
Queens 2 put men down, though.
Absolutely. Will Matthews trying to take that ball on the fly. Number 8, the Queens captain. But Guelph cleans up. Number 1, Vachon, driven back by the Queens defenders. Big hit there. Number 10, Santiago Guadarrama Maya, putting it on the line.
And a good play by number 12 as well for Guelph.
Yeah, Jacob Inch is having a great game for
really is.
Guelph.
Actually, a lot of players having a great game for Guelph.
You can't really pick a one person out now. Mr. Stinson, the assistant referee, has come on. He's noticed something.
They finally have the score. Well, we've had the score correct on the OUA site here. It is 29-7.
I guess their telephone isn't working. Their
You know, the score.
Their app.
I think I mentioned the new scoreboard is their app. It's all done by an app on somebody's iPhone.
I thought maybe
maybe
the rotary dial wasn't working.
I'm going to get a hold of that app.
So Queen's scrum. Number 21, Connor Gittins, the replacement scrum half. Queen's still now down 2 men. As you can notice, there are no flankers on the Queen's scrum. You see how 6 do against 8. And quite honestly, not bad. That's good ball.
But another penalty.
Another penalty to Guelph. And again, he's called the number 1, who is Stéphane Zulian. He's calling him for not driving straight. He's turning and driving in. If nothing else, Queens should be frustrated, but hopefully they take it out by creative play.
Time's starting to run up against them. We're almost at the halfway mark of the second half.
Things have to get going here. It'll be a Guelph line out, 40-meter line.
Yeah, you can't do it without the ball.
No. And that's, again, one of the problems that obviously that Queens has had this game is they've had very little possession.
And when they have had possession, they've squandered away with a penalty.
Absolutely.
So no one to blame but themselves at this point. Guelph has played a very, very strong game.
There's a great tackle on number 23, Walsham Owen from Guelph by the Queens player. Would be number 11, Sam Ibbotson. McKendy driving ahead. There's a penalty. Neil Traynor was wrapped around the head by the number 4 Cooper Grau for Guelph. Not allowed to do that.
Why not?
It hurts.
Oh.
Did not find touch again. Boy. Queen's still under a lot of pressure. This will be a 22 dropout. 4 Queens.
Actually, I'm not sure it is, Dave. I think that's the new rule.
Oh, okay, you're right. Another goal line dropout.
And didn't find touch.
Boy, oh boy. This
Same
is
result.
just a panoply of errors by Queens.
And Guelph takes advantage of every single one of them.
Absolutely.
Guelph is playing a very superior game to Queens this afternoon. All credit to them.
Number 19, Tyler Casey for Guelph in the game now, driving ahead.
They're up and over the game line every single time, making 5-10 yards.
They are indeed.
Makes it a lot shorter. Oh, there we go.
That's number 11, Alex Williamson, in for the try.
Looks like he may have been shaken up on the play, but Great run by him. Put his body on the line, just dove in, touched it down in the
Absolutely.
corner.
Yeah.
So 32 to 7. If you're a betting man, Dave, what would you say?
I would say the odds are getting quite long for a Queen's comeback, but you don't know. There's a shot of Coach Butcher in the end zone in his shorts.
You know, you think about it, if Queens was going to lose one of these games, better to do it now rather than the national championships, but they'll be very disappointed, obviously.
I would think so.
And we don't want to call the game yet, obviously, but it's going to take a tremendous effort by Queens and, quite frankly, a lot of luck to come back from this one.
I'd say. It'd be kind of handy to get 15 players on the field, for one thing. Two
Liam
currently.
Casey must be back on by now.
I would think, yeah. Again, missed conversion.
We thought those conversions might be important. Not really.
Nope.
A couple of new subs coming in for Queens.
It looks like number 18, Mohammed Yusuf, has come on.
Number 3.
And
Corey McPhail.
Rink
Getting
Vanderplug, number 20, I believe. Guadarrama Maya to restart for Queens. Next 5 minutes, now or never.
Liam Casey is back in the game, having served a 10-minute penalty.
Guelph looks to clear their lines. Not the longest kick, so Queens is at an advantage here on the 30-meter line.
Queens down 4 tries, though. Can they score 4 tries in the last 21 minutes? Based on how this game's gone so far, you'd have to say that's questionable at best.
Well, it was not a good line out to lose, but they did indeed. Guelph cleaned up well. Tyler Casey, number 19 for Guelph, driving ahead. Guelph seems to want it more.
You know, that was an excellent play by the Guelph forward. Number 2.
David Skolin.
David Skolin, that was an excellent play. And you're right, he really wanted that ball.
There's a great break.
Queens has to do a lot more of that.
That was number 12, Eric Godden, who had a great run. Here's Vanderplug. There's Mohammed Yusuf.
Referee playing advantage, I think. Dave, you know something? They're up the field 15 meters. Why would he call it back?
Again, and it's time off the clock.
Yes.
Which at this point is one of the key issues.
Less than 20 minutes to go. Queens down 4 tries, 34 to 7. Are they turning off the clock? Apparently not.
I believe he stopped it on his watch, which is all that counts. So.
Well, I, for one, would like to see it stop here as well.
They don't have an app.
No.
The referee consulting with the side judge, Talol Jokla.
I think a Guelph player might be getting a yellow card here. We won't. There we go.
Number 15,
High.
Dalton Campbell.
Yep, here he goes. He's been into his pocket. Here we go. Campbell's had an excellent game.
Yeah, he'll. That's a big blow to Guelph. Certainly defensively, but his offensive running has been electrifying.
He really has. He's played an outstanding game. Okay, let's see if Queens can do something with this. Who's our friend again? Kicking for touch.
Guadarrama Maya.
I'm just going to let you call that one. Okay, let's get excited here. This is the last 20 minutes, 19 minutes
Let's
or
have
so.
some action from both sides. Number 17, Michael Delala has come on for Guelph.
Guelph carrying the game to the Queens Golden Gales, or Gold, I guess they just call them the Gales these days. Or you like to refer to them as yellow guys.
The yellow guys, yeah. Gold guys. Not quite sure what that was all about.
Another time waster, whatever it is.
It's again for Queens, it's all time off the clock, which is a good take. Number 7 is Pepchuk driving through. It's Noah King.
Queens on the attack.
And I'm sure the Guelph coaches just said tackle anything that you see in a yellow jersey. Queens is really keen on keeping this ball alive. Let the ball work and run it down the field because they need to do things quickly here. Number 22, Josh Engelbrecht stepping. Number 7, Pepchuk driving ahead. Yusuf taking the hard hit. Great effort by Ibbotson to try and save that, but not a good pass, and it was forward anyway, I bet. Referee stop time here.
Looks like somebody may be on
Looks
the
like
field here.
lots of injuries here.
Queens player down.
Oh dear.
Can't see who it is.
Looks like unfortunately Mr. Yusuf, yeah.
He is a hard runner.
Number 19, Cole Hickey coming in as a replacement for Liam Casey, number 19.
Hopefully the injury to Liam isn't too serious.
Yeah.
They'll certainly need him in the Nationals. Guelph sort of hugging each other on the side. I think they're convinced that they have this one. I have to agree with them.
Yes.
Queens did not come with their A game today.
Didn't look like it. They did not get on track. They weren't able to put sort of phases together as a coach would want to see it. And
Whereas Guelph did.
whereas Guelph repeatedly just played some good hard-nosed stuff and eventually looked for a seam and a crack and went through it.
Well, Guelph has played an outstanding game this afternoon. Well coached, well drilled. The Queens team will really have to take a look at themselves and say, can we compete at this level or not?
Absolutely.
As you mentioned, it doesn't get any easier going into the Nationals.
No. This is as an acid test. This is a big wake-up call for the Queens team.
And I think that's the way they should look at it. This is a wake-up call.
Yeah.
It looks like Mr. Yusuf is unfortunately taking a shot to the head, perhaps.
Taking a knock, yeah.
The protocols around hits to the head, knocks to the head, whatever you want to call it, very, very stringent, as they should be.
Yeah, it was a situation that was ignored way too long. We all remember games where you get your so-called bell rung and you just carried on and kept going, but that's is not the way to proceed. So Mohamed Yusuf is being helped off the field.
You know, Coach Butcher has used him as an impact player the last couple of games, and he really is an impact player. He
Absolutely.
comes in and he plays a very hard game.
So if anything that Queens was trying to build has been sort of put aside, unfortunately with that break with Mohamed Yusuf, but hopefully he's going to be all right. It's Guelph's put in the line out.
I'm not sure if Queens still has a player in the sin bin. We know that Guelph does.
Guelph takes the ball. Good run up the gut.
Excellent passing.
Ibbotson gets the ball. Hickey takes it in. Nick Sauter, number 14, was involved in that play. But it's Guelph line out.
34-7. Guelph Griffins in the lead.
Getting to be a tall order for the Queens. A great take. That was Noah King, stole that ball. It was Ibbotson, great run. Sits it there by Walshamone, number 23. Vanderplug, number 20 here, driving on.
Queens finally showing some flair. Oh.
Boy. Referee saw it. They knock on. Playing advantage. Be blowing up. It'll be scrum to Guelph.
Guelph still playing one man short. Only 15 minutes left in the game, though. Maybe a little bit more. But not enough for Queens to come back, I don't think, Dave.
It's a tough one, a tough order, but I'm sure for Coach Butcher, for the prospects in the national championship, he wants to see some positive play for the rest of the 15 minutes. You know, you have to build on your latest performance, and it hasn't been not stellar so far today for Queens. Well,
penalties really taking their toll on Queens from the first half.
It really did.
Teams have played pretty much even in the second half here. I think Guelph's only scored one try. Queens has not scored at all, but they really took it to them in the first half and built up that strong lead.
That's correct, yeah. Actually, I think there have been 2 tries, but
one was a penalty
one
try,
was a
right?
penalty try.
That's right, yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah. Except
That
on the
does on
scoreboard.
The scoreboard, yeah.
If you have the app.
Yes.
Vanderplug has taken over number 8. And Will Matthews has gone to the open side flanker. Great drive by the Queens forwards. They've stolen the ball. Brilliant. Okay. Penalty
Now
called.
let's see if Queens can use it here now.
Matthews driving on. Vanderplug driving on. Referee stop time. Have a word with the Guelph team. I think the Guelph captain, Area Kashuvi, there.
He's obviously displeased with both teams' play, telling the captains to speak to their players. That's why he stopped time. Although the official score doesn't know that.
No. So Queens at this point, penalty right in the middle of the field, kicking a convert or a penalty really doesn't make a lot of difference. This might be a position to call a scrum. And then that's what he's done.
This is the first time Queens has been in scoring position in quite some time.
Quite a lot of time.
So let's see what they can do here.
Connor Gittins, the Queens scrum, have to put the ball in. Something fast here would be useful. Great play by Vanderplug to get that ball out. Number 22, Josh Engelbrecht doing a great job there. Matthews taking it through.
Giuliani.
Hard drive. Queens pressing.
Queens has earned this if they can get it over the line, but it might be too little too late.
Referee has called it up, held up. Referee Pender. This again will be a line or a drop kick from the goal line.
Now can a line judge call that? Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. Well, there we go.
There we go.
Second penalty try awarded in the game. They don't happen very often.
I don't think that was a penalty try, Dave. I think the touch judge or the sideline judge saw it go down.
Saw it go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he just kicked the convert.
Converted by Santiago Guadarrama Maya. So Queens.
34-14.
34-14. The climb starts.
A penalty try wouldn't do the convert, would he?
No, you're right.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be right. I just want to be correct.
Actually, if they score under the posts, they don't need to convert either in the new rules.
Well, he kicked that one, so let's assume it was...
Maybe you got double. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Guelph restarts, puts a long kick. Queens will not be looking to kick the ball. I can almost guarantee that.
Let's hope not.
They want to have ball in hand. Nice little play.
There's Engelbrecht again. You can see how he can sort of open up a game.
Forward pass, so unfortunate. A good try. Be Guelph put in. Time ticking down. Tight five for Guelph. The Eden Vichon, David Scolling, Gershon McKendy, Cooper Grau, Evan Raymond. Done a tremendous job in the boiler room for the Guelph Griffins. Actually, all of the forwards for Guelph have played their hearts out.
No, absolutely. They've been... there they go again.
Great tackle. By,
Guelph
Maya.
has a really balanced attack, don't they?
They
They're
do.
forwards, and then they get
Nothing
it out to the backs.
flashy about it, that's
No.
for sure.
But very effective.
Yeah.
But I like the way they use their backs as well.
Yes. Matthews driving that player back. Advantage had been played. Another penalty to Queens.
Yes.
Offside.
Queens has close to 20 penalties in this game
It's quite frankly an unbelievable number.
at this time of the season.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they've rolled over everybody else. This is the first real tough game that they've had, and
Yeah.
they certainly know that what they've got to do if they want to advance anywhere in the national finals coming up.
I would foresee 2 weeks of very intense practicing.
Coach Butcher's called for an inter-squad game during that 2 weeks. They'll be very, very disappointed on home field.
In front of a large crowd.
We mentioned the women's. Again, same two teams. Queens women versus Guelph Griffins women. 7:30 tonight for the OUA women's final.
They will be shown on OUA TV and via CBC Gem.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah, I don't recall that happening before. Again, as women's rugby recognized as by youth sports, the national body, a little frustrating for the men not to get recognition.
No, we really have to thank the Canadian Rugby Foundation for supporting a men's final. They incur most of the cost.
Yeah. It's a great take by number 20, Ben Clack for Guelph. Luke McDonald there, Guelph player, well taken in. Again, the ball comes back, and that's what the Guelph coach want to see, is that ball just going up into contact but coming back to the Guelph side. Where's the clock down? No, Guelph didn't want that to happen, and the referee has called that back.
The referee didn't want it to happen either. Another penalty to Queens. It is. You can't blame anybody but themselves. Oh, they're going for. No, this is surprising.
Area Kashufi has opted for going for posts. Again, the clock runs while this goes on, so why not do it?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe a good play. He's going to take the kick this time.
They all have their unique style. Ball is up and through. So this is interesting. This score reflects the preseason game to a large degree that Queens played against Guelph.
That's right, just the opposite score.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just a few minutes left here.
Good hit by the Queens forwards coming down. Number 3, Rory McPhail there. That was a great play by McPhail. He stripped that ball, stole it completely. Referee takes another 10 meters for chirping. He might just want to tap this one, I thought so, just to keep the ball going. Number 2 trainer driving it through.
Queens knocking on the door once again, but as we've mentioned, probably a little late for this, but bodes well for the national championships to start in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I would suggest that this slow play is probably not what the coach wants. I would think the ball out to the backs quick, see if they can get it through, just for time. McPhail drives on.
Queens at the 5-meter line.
Will Matthews.
Great defense by Guelph.
Stalwart defense. It's great tackling, great commitment.
Oh. Now That was, is he going to call the knock on? Yes, he will.
Yeah.
8 minutes left. You know, I thought there was less time than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Nick Sauter there entreating the referee to look at that as an intentional knockdown by the Guelph player.
I think it would have been called in any other game.
His case was not made, apparently, according to Mr. Pender, the referee.
Now, Dave, doesn't the time seem odd to you?
I noticed that just now, and I was surprised by it. Now, the referee may have indicated that that's the time that he has.
Maybe, yeah.
There have been a couple of injuries, nothing excessive, but yeah, interesting. I mean, again, Queens wants to get these things done quickly. Now again, those fellows were over the line, so they were not back 5 meters or to the goal line. So,
As you've mentioned, who's going to go lowest here?
yeah. Guelph
is just playing superb defense.
A red and black wall. Oh, there we go. Queens scores. It looks like number 1, Zuliani. Queens rushing back to move things along.
That narrows it a bit, but time's certainly up against them. You see a good crowd
There's a
here.
great shot of the
That's-
crowd
yeah,
and the theological college there to the left. Santiago Guadarrama Maya to take the conversion.
Let's hope he does it fairly quickly.
Nicely kicked. And it was given. I was going to say that would have been a tough call not to give him that.
Queen's certainly not giving up, but they're up against the clock now.
They're under duress.
All players back on the field.
The referee just, I think, indicated 6 minutes. There we go.
You heard him?
He just went like, gave the hand signal. Vanderplug takes it. Smashes ahead. Great run. Great run.
Zuliani.
Yeah, he just bulldozing. Another penalty against Guelph.
Queens is like a team possessed right now.
Yeah,
But
they're hopefully not too little too late, but could have used this earlier on. Referee is blowing up for advantage.
stay behind the kicker, Queens, and so he finds touch this time. It's a different Queens team here, isn't it?
It really is. They've had problems in the lineout today. Started well, but boy, they haven't had very many in the second half. Good take there. That's a replacement. Cole Hickey taking that. Great strip by number 7, Max Goodwin for
Queens,
Waterloo, but Queens,
Queens
still has the ball. Great run by the winger. I think that might have been Engelbrecht again. He's got the ball here. It's a tough fellow to put down.
very skilled player.
Sure is. Great hit there by the Guelph player. Number 18, Luke McDonald. Brilliant.
Queens pressing again. About 10 meters out.
The clock ticking down is not their best ally right now.
Engelbrecht, there he goes again. Oh,
Luckily, the ball bounced Queen's way. Engelbrecht just a danger every time he has the ball.
very deceiving.
You're surprised when he gets in with the forwards. He's a big fella, big lad. Try scored.
Try scored.
Queen's rushing back.
3 tries in a row.
Boy, oh boy. This could get very, very, very interesting.
Well, they haven't given up, and it's certainly making for an exciting game, but I don't know if there's enough time left.
One runs back a couple of years. Well, actually, it's probably more than a couple now, but Queens and Guelph in the OUA final. Tie game after 80 minutes. Tie game after the overtime. And they ended up going to kicks.
Oh,
and
yes.
It went down to about
Yes.
4 or 5 kicks per side. Probably the most ridiculous way to end a game. My suggestion would have been to say it was a tie. But Guelph prevailed on that day.
I was at that game with you. I remember it got cold.
It was
too.
very cold. It was not a day that you wanted to tally or tarry around on the field.
37-28.
Well, this gets very intriguing. A two-score game at this point. Queens does something fast. Guelph still has to kick back to them. So hold your seats, folks. Vanderplug. Engelbrecht again. He's committing his body. McPhail driving ahead.
Queens pressing here, but time up against them for sure.
Matthews on the wing. Kept the ball alive.
Good defense by Guelph.
Yep.
They just really have to hold off
Queens
Queens
just,
here.
they're looking for that outside relief man. They're just missing that last pass. Ibbotson making a break. Good tackle by the Guelph players.
Less than a minute to go, according to the timer.
Goes Noah King driving ahead. Great tackle by number 15, Dalton Campbell for Guelph.
Queens on the attack once again, but less than a minute to go. They're down by 9.
Rear McPhail driving
So
the
2
ball ahead.
scores.
Matthews wants to keep the ball alive. Great tackle again by the Guelph number 8, Cam Hughes.
This is a very
First.
different Queens team we've seen the last 10 minutes.
Referee's playing advantage here.
Less than 10 seconds though, Dave.
High tackle. Game can't end on a penalty. The Queens will want to keep the ball alive. They're certainly not going to kick it here.
Let's see what
I would ask the referee before you.
referee looking at his watch. I think this might be. Clock says no time left.
Okay, he's going to give him a line out. Allow the line out after the no time showing on our board, but in the referee's mind there is a little time left. This could be the last series of play.
I think Queens very spirited effort, but I think they're going to come up short. Just time.
Indeed. Oh, that was a great effort by Matthews. Oh, that was too bad.
I think that's probably it.
Number 14, Nick Sauter, just lost the handle. Knocked forward. And
That's it.
Congratulations to Guelph Griffins 2021 Ontario University Men's Champs.
Certainly, Queens made a game of it, but it's just a little bit too late.
Yeah, they look back on the tapes, the game tapes, that the effort that they put in the last 15 minutes was really sorely lacking in the first half.
Yep. Penalties, penalties, penalties.
Penalties, yes. The count was extraordinary, frankly.
You know, you see them celebrating, and a lot of these players, this will be their last season, and to go out with a university championship under their belt, that's quite something.
You do remember it. You never forget the feeling.
And 20 years later, when they gather together, they'll remember this.
Absolutely. I believe that's the Turner Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
It's changed a lot since we were lucky enough to win it.
Yes, yes.
Now the celebrations will continue apace for the Guelph team. Certainly a well-deserved victory. On the road, a lovely setting. Hopefully we haven't had any word, but hopefully our player Mohammed Yusuf, hopefully he is okay. It looked like it perhaps was a stinger, which are serious, but will come back.
Guelph celebrating. Teams to line up shortly and congratulate each other on a game well played. It was really a story of two halves.
It really was, and again, Queens will feel the want of more competitive games during their regular schedule. To have a default or a forfeiture was really frustrating for them. That's the way the ball bounces, of course, but they could have used the extra game, more real-time game time. Even inter-squads are, as valuable as they are in their own right. Don't replace playing against a competitive team like Guelph.
No, they're very well drilled, and as I said, it was really a story of two halves. Guelph coming out strong and building up a good lead and being able to hold that. It was really the last 20 minutes that Queens came alive and really made a game of it.
There, the lovely acknowledgement of the fan support. Again, as Rick mentioned, 3 busloads of Guelph supporters coming down. That's wonderful to see, and it means a lot to the players, obviously, to hear that acknowledgement and to know that it was that their efforts were.
Well, there they've got the hats going for them too. Are those Maple Leaf hats that they're putting on, Toronto Maple Leafs?
Probably not.
Like to we should give a shout out to our, when I started doing these broadcasts years ago with the Canada team with Lindsay O'Connor.
Indeed.
And Peter Irvin, but Peter's decamped to somewhere south. Lindsay still not reffing anymore, but still very much involved in the game.
Well, a shout out to Lindsay. I worked with him on a number of games as well, and it was always a pleasure. And his jokes were awful, but there we go.
And half the time you couldn't understand him because of his Kiwi accent, but boy, he knew the game.
He did know the game. He was probably phoning in just about now. I think the presentation ceremony will be COVID restricted.
Yes, you got to see what they're going to do here. They haven't made them put their masks on. Maybe that's why the hats are on.
There's
their
a shield hanging down over the brim or something. Well, it'll be interesting. You've got basically the both teams, Queens and Guelph and RMC, will have 2 weeks before the national finals take place. Hopefully the weather cooperates with us this year. As everyone's aware, 2020 did not see a national final, and that's missed by all rugby. And it impacts rugby right across all age groups and in fact right up into international levels because, again, these players need the most competitive games they can get.
The Queen's Athletic Director, Leslie Dalcin. Big thanks to her as well for organizing the new scoreboard. There was certainly some challenges, some construction challenges, and she really stayed on top of it, so we'd have it here for today.
Oh, it's great, and obviously the timing for the national final is terrific.
Queens showing their disappointment, but again, all credit to Guelph. They played a superb game this afternoon and are well worth the championship.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite Queens memory when you played, Dave?
Favorite Queens memory would have been winning against Guelph in 1978, won the OUA title. There were no national finals or anything else beyond that. But some of the touring games that we played, Queens toured to Bermuda one year. We toured to Cornell, Colgate, played MIT, Brown, Harvard. Those were great trips. When you crossed the border, not only were you representing your school, your province, but your country as well. And that was, it was always a very proud moment to be able to do that.
We had, I think, you and I, part of the tour of the century. 1979, 30-day tour. I don't think any club will ever do that again.
No, and that was Hawaii, Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji, and
then one more stop in Hawaii.
Well, one more stop
On the
in
way
Hawaii.
home.
It was absolutely remarkable.
The Queens team, in past years, prior to COVID, every second year they go on a tour, and I was fortunate enough to go on a number of tours with them. The most memorable for me was South Africa.
Oh, tremendous.
Because it was so different.
Tremendous opportunity, but they've also toured Argentina as well. I mean,
I was on that one as well.
That's exciting stuff.
That really was.
Yeah.
It was. I'd never been there at that time, but I think they must be handing out the All Stars.
I guess so. That's
Yeah.
correct. So you get
Liam Casey was the MVP, but the All Stars.
number 8, Will Matthews.
Yeah, and this is the winger,
Ibbotson.
Ibbotson.
There you go.
You had the list of All Stars, didn't you, Dave?
Yeah, sure. I had an app for it.
And Mr. Zuliani. Disappointment on his face today. He'd rather have a championship than this, but all credit to him. He had a great season.
Sure did. There's Liam Casey for the
Liam Casey.
most valuable player. They missed
Quite
him
an
in the second half. His running ability and his leadership on the field was sorely missed. Mind you, no discredit to his replacement, Cole Hickey. Did a tremendous job in the line out and some solid runs in his own right.
Okay.
All right.
We've just been given our marching orders.
We've been given our marching orders. We'd like to thank OUA TV for providing coverage of these games. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. And hope to see you for later on for the women's final, 7:30 tonight. But also for the national finals, which for the women start next week. And then for the men, the 23rd to 28th.
24th to the 28th.
24th to 28th, thereabouts. All information is available on gogalesgo.com. You'd find
You almost said "Go Daddy Go," didn't you?
Go Daddy. No, I didn't, because I'm not very computer literate or literate at all. Anyway, we'd like to thank you for tuning in, folks, and have a great evening. And please come back to watch the women's final at 7:30.
And congratulations to all our student athletes.
That's it.
It's
For Rick Powers, I'm Dave Lukes. Enjoy your rugby.